Good morning everyone. In this video, we are going to cover the current affairs. For mobile optimized ebooks, please install GKToday Academy app. For regular updates, please join our Telegram channel and the revision PDF are uploaded on this channel. The link is given in the description box. Please check it from there. We have started a new channel, Civils Academy. You can subscribe to it if you find it relevant. Now let's start. What is the name of initiative of India to launch movie series for the diplomats of SCO, that is Shanghai Cooperation Organization? The name of this series is Cinema Scope. So under this program, over 24 Indian films were dubbed and screened in Russian, and the screening will continue till 2023. Why it is 2023? Because in that year, India will be the chairperson of SCO, Council of Heads of State. What is SCO? It is Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Headquarters is in Beijing in China. Total 8 countries are the members of SCO. These 8 countries are China, Russia, India, Pakistan and 4 Central Asian countries except Turkmenistan. Now out of these 4 Central Asian countries, recently Uzbekistan was in news, as Uzbekistan is going to be the part of first ever trilateral group for the working of Chahbar port. This Chahbar port is in Iran, and for this purpose, a trilateral meeting will be organized between Uzbekistan, Iran and India. India and Pakistan became the full-fledged member of SCO after Asthana summit in 2017. This Asthana, the place, has been renamed as Nur Sultan. It is the capital of Kazakhstan. Recently, Pakistan was in news as China and Pakistan conducted joint Air Force exercise, and the name of this exercise is Shaheen, that is Eagle. So it was 9th edition of this Shaheen exercise. It is alternatively conducted in China and Pakistan. So this time it was conducted in Pakistan, next time it will be conducted in China. The US federal government and states issued lawsuit against which company, accusing this company of elimination of competition. So this company is Facebook. Now a lawsuit has been filed against Facebook and it has been accused of eliminating competition by the acquisition of Instagram and of WhatsApp, and because of that it led to the monopoly of Facebook, and that is why it is being accused of elimination of competition. Now this Instagram and WhatsApp are the entities of Facebook, and recently US federal government and state issued lawsuit against Facebook. Recently USA was in news because of few other events. It was in news because of CAATSA, that is Countering American Adversaries Through Sanctions Act. So with the help of this act, USA imposed sanctions on Turkey for purchasing S-400 missile defense system from Russia. India is also in the process of purchasing these missile systems from Russia. USA was also in news because of Sudan, as now it removed Sudan from the list of terror sponsors. That means now, as per USA, Sudan is no longer a terror sponsor country. The European Union leaders agreed to cut greenhouse gas emissions by 55% by which year? So the target is 2030, and by 2050 the target of European Union is to be carbon neutral. That means by 2050 European Union will have zero carbon emission. Means whatever carbon will be emitted, it will be sequestered. Okay, now recently New Zealand declared climate emergency and it declared that it will be carbon neutral by 2025. Recently France was in news because of its climate initiatives, as France announced that it is going to have a referendum to add fight against climate change into French constitution. That means they are going to add this in constitution if people in the referendum say yes. That means majority of the people say yes. Which is the first Indian state to roll out an online mechanism for fire safety approval named Fire Safety COP. So this is Gujarat, and this is going to be the first Indian state to do so. That means to launch an online mechanism for fire safety approval. Recently, Gujarat was also in news because of Land Grabbing Prohibition Act. So Gujarat passed this Land Grabbing Prohibition Act. Gujarat was also in news because of Wigcote Village, as recently Hybrid Renew Energy, that means Renewable Energy Park Foundation, was set up near this Wigcote Village in Gujarat, and it is in Kutch district of Gujarat, and this foundation stone was laid down by the Prime Minister. And this is going to be, that means this Hybrid Renewable Energy Park is going to be the world's largest single location HRE, that is Hybrid Renewable Energy Park, and this is going to be of 30 GW, that is gigawatt capacity. Now what is the meaning of this term hybrid renewable energy? It means it will have different sources of renewable energy, for example solar, wind energy, so it will not be dependent on single source. What is the meaning of this world's largest single location? Single location means the park will be in one location. That means the hybrid energy sources will be in one place. In other scenarios, the sources may be at different locations. For example, wind energy sources may be at one place and solar energy sources may be at some another place, and they may be connected through a grid. Which country has test launched the heavy lift space rocket Angara A5? So this has been done by Russia. Space agency of Russia is Roscosmos. Now, as per the media reports, this Angara rocket do not use any toxic propellant, so it is environment friendly. Recently, Russia was also in news because of Russia-India naval exercise, and it is PASEX, and it was carried out in IOR, that is Indian Ocean region. Russia was also in news because of BrahMos. So India and Russia are collaborating for this missile system. BrahMos is named after two major rivers of India and Russia, that is Brahmaputra and Moskova. And from Indian side, DRDO is a collaborating entity for this project. What is DRDO? It is Defense Research and Development Organization. It is under MOD, that is Ministry of Defense. Unified Development Council and Promotion Regulations, that is UDCPR, which was in news, is associated with which state? So it is associated to Maharashtra. Now, Maharashtra government has released a Unified Development Control and Promotion Regulations. In simple terms, these are the unified regulations for real estate development. Previously, there were different rules for different areas. Now, the state government issued a unified document of rules for the development of real estate sector. So these rules will be applicable to ensure that there is a uniformity in the size of projects. Recently, Maharashtra government was also in news because of Mahasarad initiative. So it is an initiative started by Maharashtra government to provide assistance to Divyangs. And the full form of this Mahasarad is Maharashtra System for Health and Rehabilitation Assistance. Maharashtra was also in news because of Lonar Lake. Now it is part of Ramsar site. It is related to wetland conservation. Okay, now one important question for you. What is the difference between wetland and permafrost? As per FAO, that is Food and Agriculture Organization, more than 5 million population of which country would head into hunger in 2021. So it is Yemen, and Yemen is in a situation of civil war since 2014. Now, what is FAO? It is Food and Agriculture Organization. It is an agency of United Nations. Recently, it completed 75 years. And on this occasion, Government of India released a coin of 75 rupees. FAO was also in news as recently it released State of Food and Agriculture. It was also in news as it released State of World Forest. The headquarters of FAO is in Rome, and Rome is in Italy. By what name the United Nations has declared the year of 2021? So it will be the year of creative economy, and the proposal in this context was sponsored by Indonesia. Now this term creative economy was also in news as UNESCO, that is United Nations Educational, Scientific and Cultural Organization, decided to launch a prize after Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman is considered as the founding father of Bangladesh, and current Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Sheikh Hasina, is his daughter. So in the memory of Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, UNESCO constituted a new award, and this award would be given in the field of creative economy. Which organization has launched Operation Oliva? So this has been launched by Indian Coast Guard, and it has been launched for olive ridley turtles. Olive ridley turtles are endangered, and to prevent the entry of fishing vessels, ICG, that is Indian Coast Guard, is going to make sure that the area is properly surveilled. Now recently ICG, that is Indian Coast Guard, was also in news because of Sujit. So recently this ship was inducted in ICG, that is Indian Coast Guard, and it is ICGS, that is Indian Coast Guard ship. Apart from that, Coast Guard was also in news because of C-454, and it is interceptor boat. It was recently commissioned in Indian Coast Guard and it has been built by L&T, that is Larsen and Toubro. The book titled The Soria Unbound is about which incident? So it is a book about 2001 Parliament attack and it has been released by Lok Sabha Speaker Mr. Om Birla. Now, two important points. First, in English, the name of book is Soria Unbound and in Hindi, the name of book is Samudra Samave Boond Mein. So Hindi version is Samudra Samave Boond Mein and English version is The Soria Unbound. So it is about 2001 Parliament attack and it has been released by Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla. And this is a book of Tales of Valour of CRPF, that is Central Reserve Police Force. That is Central Reserve Police Force. So CRPF are part of CAPF, that is Central Armed Police Force, and it is under MHA, that is Ministry of Home Affairs. Recently, CRPF was in news because it set up NCDE, that is National Center for Divyang Empowerment. So those CRPF servicemen who got injured seriously during the service, now they will be provided assistance in this NCDE, that is National Center for Divyang Empowerment, and this is set up in Telangana. So these were the most important questions. Now we are going to cover few important news. So first is SN8 rocket. So it is related to SpaceX, and SpaceX is the company of Elon Musk. Now why this rocket was in news recently? Because it was exploded and it was the first super heavy lift rocket. So SpaceX is planning to use these rockets to send humans to the moon and Mars. So that's why this term SN8 is important. It is associated to SpaceX. Next is FX4U. So this is new initiative started by Canara Bank and this is related to Forex transactions. Forex stands for foreign exchange. Next is Rodham Narasimha. So he passed away recently. He was director of National Aerospace Laboratories. He was aerospace scientist. He was from India. Please remember this. Now apart from him, recently Eric Freeman also passed away. He was from Australia and he was cricketer. Next is first ever electricity market report. So this report was released by IEA, that is International Energy Agency. And as per this report, the global electricity demand is going to fall. Why so? Because of the pandemic situation. So this is first ever electricity market report and it has been released by International Energy Agency. Next is Center for Land Governance. So it created an index to provide data about women holding land rights. What does that mean? It means how many women have land registered after their name. In most of the cases, men is the owner of land. So the index was created to find out how many women are the owners of land. So as per this index, only 12.8% women hold land in our country. And in terms of land holding rights for women, Lakshadweep and Meghalaya are on top positions and Punjab and West Bengal are the worst performers in terms of land holding rights for women. Next is free COVID-19 vaccine. So recently Bihar cabinet approved a proposal to provide free COVID-19 vaccine to the people of state. Actually this was promised during the elections. So now Bihar cabinet approved this proposal. Next is Uday Kotak. So he was in news because RBI reappointed him as the MD of Kotak Mahindra Bank. Next is International Tea Day. So it was celebrated on 15th of December. International Tea Day was celebrated on 15th of December and United Nations Tea Day was celebrated on 21st of May for the first time in 2020. Next is Vijay Divas. So it is celebrated to commemorate India's victory over Pakistan in 1971 war. And Bangladesh became a separate country because of this war. So every year on 16th of December, this is celebrated. Previously Bangladesh was part of Pakistan and it was East Pakistan, and after this war it became a separate nation. Next is Israel. So recently Israel was in news because Bhutan and Israel established formal diplomatic ties. Israel was also in news as recently Morocco established formal ties with Israel. Next is Martyred Intellectual Day. So it is observed by Bangladesh. Why so? To commemorate the genocide of 1971 in Bangladesh. Last is Dark Pay. So this is new initiative announced by IPPC. IPP, that is India Post Payment Bank. So it is new digital payment app. So these were the most important events. Now yesterday's test. So approximately 150 students answered these questions. Usually more than 10,000 students watch it. Now I don't know why you people are so busy to answer it. Trust me, YouTube does not give me money when you comment. It is for your own benefit. If you are going to actively participate, then you are going to remember it for longer period of time. Most of the students think that if they will read answer by somebody else, they will remember it. No, that is passive participation, not active one. If you are going to actively involve in it, you will remember it for a longer period of time. Okay, now let me provide you the answers of yesterday's quiz. So what is the name of new platform to be launched by Maharashtra to distribute assistive devices to Divyangs? So the name of this initiative is Mahasarad. We already covered it. Next is national poet Subramania Bharati is a famous poet of which Indian state? So he is a famous poet of Tamil Nadu. Next is CMS-01 satellite will be launched by ISRO using which launch vehicle? So it is PSLV C50. PSLV stands for Polar Satellite Launch Vehicle. Next is Alex Olmedo, who passed away recently, was associated to with sports. So he was associated to tennis. Next is Morocco became the latest Arab League country to normalize ties with which country? So it is Israel. Recently Israel also formalized ties with Bhutan. Next is who was awarded Subramania Bharati Award this year? So it was given to Seni Vishwanathan. Next is Heroes of 2020 is published by which organization? So it is published by Time magazine. And last question is central government approved that Ayurveda practitioners can perform surgical procedures. So the approval was given for 58 surgical procedures. Now today's quiz. These events were covered in last 2-3 days. So please make sure you try to answer these questions and write down your score in the comment box. Today's target is at least 200 students should answer it. Let's see how many answer it. Okay, so first question is which institution released a report titled Vision 2035 Public Health Surveillance in India? Next is on which day the National Energy Conservation Day is observed? So it is observed by BEE and it is under Power Ministry. The question is on which date it is observed? Next is National Family Health Survey is conducted by which institution? Next question is Swadhinta Sadak is a road link that connect India with which country? So it is our neighbor and it is going to complete 50 years of independence next year. This was hint for you. Next is which institution announced Champions of Earth Award? Next question is which stock exchange has launched an electronic spot platform Beam for agricultural commodities? Next question is which company has won the bid to construct India's parliament building? Another question is also related to the same event and it is what is the core theme of interior of Lok Sabha? Next question is who is the recipient of Dr. R.S. Tolia Memorial Award and who was named as the Time 2020 Athlete of the Year? So this was test. Please make sure you write down your score in the comment box. Thank you and that's all for the day.